What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, and I'm here to bring to you my takeaways and analysis video for this week's game versus Northwestern. Um, this was an interesting game. Definitely a tale of two halves. Um, this is why I've always felt like the quote unquote bye week or improvement week, like Harbaugh says, I've always felt has been kind of overrated. Um, typically teams that come out of the bye week show some signs of rust, and it's always to me best just to be, when you're playing, just go week to week to week. That way you have some consistency. You're on a roll with things, and you're not breaking things up. So it was good that we were able to have a game like this in between what's going to be a very, very important game next week versus Michigan State on the road. So it was good to have this game as a cushion. And I know going into halftime it was 10-7. Really should have been at least 13-7, probably more than that. I wasn't really concerned about it because I felt even though the score was really, really close, we were moving the ball really easy after about the first couple of series, and we were really, holding them down defensively except for that one big play that they got. So I wasn't really concerned about that, and it looks like we just needed, that one half to get back on a roll, get ourselves in rhythm again, and then that second half we just totally, completely took over. So, it was a good victory, 33-7. They were lucky to get the 7. It was on a huge big play, running play, 75 yards. I mean, other than that one play where they ran it for 75 yards, and then I think either the first or second series that they had were no, it wasn't. It was after that. They had that one series where they moved the ball down to field goal range and then missed the field goal. Other than that, they didn't really do anything all game. So, hats off to the defense for playing another very good game, very inspired game. And, we're just going to take the victory, move on to the next week, and, prepare for Michigan State. Hopefully, we've used this week off. Obviously, we used it to get healthier. Saw Roman Wilson back. So, gladly we'll take that week off to get healthier. But hopefully we use that week to put into, work on the read option stuff, and also work on just preparing for these next few teams that we're going to be playing down the stretch, which includes, obviously Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. So, like I said, I wasn't the halftime score didn't concern me like that. I looked at all the other games that were going on at the same time that our game was going on, and every one of those games was close. I mean, from what I remember, Oklahoma State was actually losing and getting shut out at the half to Kansas. Penn State was up 10-7 to Illinois, and they ended up losing to Illinois. Go figure. At home. I think Wake was either tied or only up by a touchdown at halftime. And what was the other game? I think the other game was, Cincinnati was only up by 3 points at halftime to Navy. So, I mean, it is what it is. Once we, got a rhythm going, the second half of the game we won 23-0. And they really didn't do much of anything. We left a lot of points on the table. Turned the ball over, more times in this game than we did, tied for as much as that we did for the whole entire season. So hopefully we can clean that up going forward. But overall, we played a good game, and but one thing I do want to address, um, and this is something that going forward still it's been an issue all year, but definitely something to address is this whole thing with how we operate in the red zone. It's terrible. So basically, from what I'm seeing, unless we can punch it in running the football, that's it for how we can score in the red zone. I mean, we got no type of red zone offense other than running the football. I mean, it's glaringly obvious now, but it is what it is. There's no variety. There's nothing other than run the ball. It seems like run the ball straight up the gut, and if we get in, we get in. If we don't, we don't. And it's fine when you're playing Northwestern. It's fine when you're playing Rutgers. It's fine when you're playing Nebraska. But when you're playing against top 10 ranked teams, it's not fine. When you're playing against a team that's probably, right now the number one offense in the whole entire country, it's not fine. Too much of the time, we're relying on our defense to bail us out. Too many times we're hoping that the defense can hold us down while we struggle on offense. The red zone has just been a disaster. The play calling has been highly questionable. I've scratched my head at some of these play calls in the red zone, and I'm still doing it. Like I said, unless we can run it in, we're in deep, deep trouble when we're in the red zone. And it was glaring this game too. One of the turnovers. I don't even know what the play call was. It looked terrible. It looked brutal. Had no chance of working, and we ended up fumbling the ball near halftime and eating at least 3 points. So something has to be done as far as this whole red zone offense goes, because going forward, we can't continue to struggle in the red zone and settling for field goals instead of getting touchdowns. I mean, settling for field goals, it's gonna end up biting you in the rear going forward against the better teams. You got to be able to score touchdowns in the red zone, period. So, like I said, hopefully that gets addressed. Hopefully we work on that and get that fixed, because it's what's holding us back. And, I know people are going to say that's, it's all on Cade. And there was, a couple instances where it was Cade. But, also the play calling didn't help as well. So, I want to just, break down and give a rating to everybody as far as the positions for the game. So, starting on offense, we'll start with the running backs. I'm going to give them an A. Haskins, Corum, both over 100 yards again. So, that's looking really, really good. The running game almost got to 300 yards, about 6 yards from 300 yards again. Corum and Haskins both with 2 touchdowns. So running the football, we're back to, getting back to being successful at it. We're going to see how it works against Michigan State and see how effective we are at running the football. But I felt that they did a good job of running the football. This actually looked like one of those games where we reverted back to the beginning of the season where there wasn't the balance. But I guess we threw the ball enough to keep them honest, but no real legitimate deep shots or anything like that. But I'll talk about Cade in a second. The offensive line, I'm going to give them an A. Obviously, if you run for almost 300 yards, you're doing something good. A lot of holes. To give up the 1 sack, but in my opinion, that 1 sack that they gave up was not their fault. yes, the guy. I think he rushed from the safety position, but it was a long, drawn out blitz. It's not like it was a blindside blitz or anything like that, or coming from off the edge. He came from way back, right in Cade's field of view, and it was like he just held on to the football and didn't throw it. And he had, I think, the tight end going up the seam wide open. He had Blake going out into the flat wide open, and he just held on to the football and ate it. I don't understand it. So, but overall, the offensive line did a very good job of protecting the quarterbacks. Uh, so definitely give them an A for that. Tight ends, I mean, kind of, I'm going to give them a C. Well, okay, I'm going to give them a B. The reason why I'm going to give them higher than that is because they were part of the whole blocking package. I saw a couple of plays where Eric Hall, from his position, had the key block that sprung for a touchdown. So, and he still had the most receptions. So, overall, I'm going to give them a B for that. It's kind of hard for them to really shine if they're not being featured. But overall, blocking, they did a good job, so I'm going to give them a B for that. The wide receivers, here's where I'm concerned. Definitely, one of my big concerns is this whole wide receiver group. I had that concern since the beginning of the season, and with Ronnie Bell going down, it made me even more concerned. But not anything real explosive from the wide receivers. I mean, nothing for me to get excited about. No, nobody had over 35 yards in receiving, which is crazy. And it was split between a bunch of receivers, but the wide receivers are just not really doing a whole lot, and so I got to give them a C, and that's being generous with that. That group has to improve. There's no way we're going to be able to beat the good teams with just average wide receiver play. So, didn't really do much of anything. No touchdown catches or anything like that. So, I'm being generous with the C. Quarterback. So, with the quarterback position, this is my concern. I mean, Cade was okay. He wasn't good. He wasn't great. And I know it goes back to the whole game manager thing. But, I gotta give him a C. And the reason why I have to give him a C is, he was 20 for 27, but for 129 yards, no touchdowns. No interceptions, no fumbles or anything like that, so that's good. That's positive. But nothing where, I'm still not confident that against the good teams he can make plays to win us a football game if we had to rely on that. And I know it's harsh, but like I said, from when I saw that sack that he gave up, where the safety just came from all the way back, right in his face, and he couldn't get rid of it, it was like he was scared to throw the football. It was like he was scared of making a mistake. And the difference between being, a game manager and making plays to be a playmaker, or just something as simple as that. And I didn't even think it was anything that extraordinary to be able just to hit the hot route, which would have been like Blake Corum in the flat. He was wide open. There was nobody within about 15 yards of him. And it's like Cade he chose to hold the football and take the sack other than make the simple throw. and that's concerning to me because it's one thing to play safe and make the safe throw, but some point in time you have to just let it rip and be confident in what you see and make a play. And it seems like he's always waiting for the guy to be open or not trying to take any chances. He'd rather eat a sack than make a play. And if it comes down to it and it's like it's the fourth quarter, we're down by 3 points, we're driving down the field, and he needs to make a throw like that, and he just eats the sack, it's just going to kill us. So that's my concern. Like I said, it was just one play. It didn't affect the outcome of the game or anything like that. It was early on. But I know, like, going forward, those are plays that he has to make. He just has to let it rip. Be confident in your ability and make the throw. One thing I did see that was very encouraging, but like I said, it's just in spots when JJ did come in and they ran like those running plays on the read option. He had a couple of good runs. I was kind of worried about him because it was reminiscent of when Dylan McCaffrey was running and he got his bell rung. I think it was against Wisconsin when he was just running like that. I had a flashback to that. But, I mean, it shows his athleticism and shows his ability to make plays. So, who knows, that might be a wrinkle that we might, get into in the later games. But, I think having him in spots, I think is just to prepare him just in case they need him, but not necessarily have him in because he's going to take over. I think that we're gonna stick with Cade no matter what, unless he really, really stinks up the joint, plays bad, and they got no choice but to go to JJ. So overall, like I said, JJ has a few spots where he ran the football pretty good. Cade made a few throws here and there, but not anything where I was overly excited. Now onto the defensive line. Give them an A. Pretty much, dominated the line of scrimmage as far as that goes. Northwestern, except for that one long run. I mean, if you take away that one long run that they have for a touchdown, they only rushed for 25 yards. So, not a lot was going on as far as that goes. There's not a bunch of huge holes. And I think they did a good job of pressuring the quarterback. Only got the one sack for the game. But he was under a lot of duress, a lot of hurrying, a lot of errant throws. Passed for under 50%, the starting quarterback, for only 114 yards and one interception. So I felt the line did a good job, not only of stopping the run, but also, rushing the passer, getting into the quarterback's face, and making him rush throws. The linebackers much improved this week. Played a lot more discipline. A couple of plays here and there that they, where they missed a few tackles and stuff like that. But overall, I felt that they played good, so I'm going to give them a B. Like I said, not anything extraordinary that stuck out to me, but they didn't play poorly and give up stuff into the passing game, miss assignments or anything like that. So I'm going to give them a B for that. Secondary, I'm going to give them an A. Like I said, only 114 yards passing, got an interception, a lot of deflections, a lot of they made a lot of plays. So impressed with that. So I'm going to give them an A for that. So that's it as far as the defense goes. Special teams, going to give special teams an A. Especially, did miss one field goal, but we had the block punt, pretty good on a few of the kick returns. Not anything extraordinary, but decent returns. That block punt, while it wasn't, I'm not going to say it was necessarily the turning point of the game, but it was a key. It was a very key point in the game, which pretty much put the game at a reach. So, and that was a huge part of us getting the victory. So, special team is definitely going to give an A for that. So, like I said, overall the team played well. They got to work on the red zone. That's key number one. Defense played really, really well once again. Northwestern was lucky to get 7 points. So, if we keep playing the way we're playing on defense, the sky's the limit for this team. So it's on to Michigan State. We'll see how that game goes. And we'll definitely just go from there. Michigan State's going to be coming off a bye. So we're going to see how prepared they are. Like I said, to me, a lot of teams that come off of byes, probably being a little bit more prepared than the other team, come out a little bit slow, a little bit rusty. The timing is off a little bit. And hopefully Michigan can take advantage of that in next week's game. So anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, definitely feel free to leave a like on the video. Let me know how you felt about the game in the comment section below. Do you feel that you're happy with the win? Were you happy with how Cade played today, or were you disappointed? Let me know how you felt in the comment section below. And definitely share this video with as many people as possible to get this discussion going as far as Michigan football goes. And if you like my content, definitely subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. All those people who have subscribed, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and we're going to continue on. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and as always, go blue.